What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video, and we will talk about Goncalo Inacio and Mamardashvili, the latest news, but also let me know what is your score prediction for the Ipswich Liverpool game, which is kicking off in a few hours. Arne Slot's first competitive game of his Liverpool managerial career. I'm so excited, but also nervous for the new season. We absolutely have to beat teams like Ipswich, even away from home, but Liverpool need to aim for at least 90 points if we want to win the title, and you have to be almost perfect. So FSG and Richard Hughes, you have to sign a defensive midfielder. I'm still digging deep, trying to find you as much information as possible. So if you appreciate my work, just leave a like, and you can support me on Patreon if you want me to keep going and to keep providing you with the daily updates on Liverpool transfer news. Please support me on Patreon. It only takes a few dollars a month to sign up, and you get additional benefits. Link is in the video description. Two Portuguese news outlets, A Bola and CM Journal, they are reporting that the agent of Goncalo Inacio is in England and he's expecting meeting with Liverpool in the next few days. And there was reports 2 days ago from O Jogo, a third Portuguese outlet, confirming this as well. Goncalo Inacio's agent, I think, is the agent of Bruno Fernandes as well, and Bruno Fernandes just recently extended his contract at Man United, so he is still in England and he is meeting or expecting to meet with Liverpool for the signing of Goncalo Inacio. The reports claim that Liverpool have always led in interest for the centre-back compared to other clubs, and they could decide on making an offer after talking to the agent this week, because Inacio's agent, Miguel Pinho, he was in England negotiating Bruno Fernandes' renewal, as I said, and now he will discuss with Liverpool ahead of a potential transfer for Inacio. And what is crucial is that Liverpool weren't interested in Inacio for the £51 million release clause that he had, which was 60 million euros, but there is a belief that an agreement could be reached for less than this release clause. So for around 38 million pounds, which is 45 million euros, Sporting could do a deal, because Sporting realized they can't sell Inacio for his release clause all summer. No club has triggered the release clause of Inacio, and there is a possibility that Sporting will sit down and negotiate a price of 38 million pounds for Inacio, even though the release clause is 51 million. And Ojogo is reporting that the agent is expecting a verbal offer from Liverpool for his client Goncalo Inacio, and he has been linked for a long time with Liverpool. Even 2 years ago, Liverpool were linked with Inacio, but when he signed a new contract at Sporting in 2023, and that increased his release clause from 40 million euros to 60 million euros, Liverpool weren't that interested, because Inacio is not like a world-class centre-back. He's a very good centre-back, and he would be a brilliant third or fourth option. He would basically take the place of Sepp van den Berg. If Inacio is signed, then Sepp van den Berg will be 100% sold. And Ruben Amorim, ahead of a Sporting's game on the weekend, stated that he doesn't know too much about any negotiations taking place. He said, I don't know if there were negotiations. Whatever has to happen in the market, it will happen. We have experience on this. We know that our players are very appetizing for other clubs. Until the window closes, anything is possible. So it's basically confirming that all of the Sporting players are for sale, and if a good offer arrives, Sporting are happy to sell. That's their club motto. There is not a huge amount of money in Portuguese football in terms of the sponsorship deals, TV revenues, and the main way for Portuguese clubs to make money is to sell most of their talents to bigger clubs. And Ruben Amorim even said to Ojogo, a lot of news has already come out, and I don't know if there have been negotiations. Inacio will play for Sporting on the weekend. He's ready. Whatever happens in the market, we are open to all the possibilities. And Fabio Romano says that Liverpool are still exploring several options on the market, but we are doing it in silence, because the Zubimendi transfer saga left a really big scar, not just on the Liverpool fan base, but on the Liverpool hierarchy as well. It's a public humiliation, basically, for Richard Hughes and for Michael Edwards and for FSG as well, that we publicly went for Zubimendi after the news came out that he's the defensive midfielder that Liverpool are targeting, and he said no, which is a big humiliation for Liverpool. And now we want to do our business in private. But of course that makes my job a little bit more difficult because I'm trying to give you guys the latest updates, but not many news are coming out. So Fabrizio Romano said it was widely reported earlier in the summer that the young defender would also be on the agenda for Liverpool, but so far we haven't seen anyone come in. What I can say is that Liverpool are still exploring several options on the market. They will not just sign a player for the sake of signing somebody, but if they find the right opportunity, they keep working on ideas and options for sure. And the Portuguese news outlets are expecting Liverpool to meet with the agent of Inacio now that he's in England, and they expect Liverpool to confirm their interest in Inacio because the cut price fee of around 38 million should entice Liverpool into making a bid. And last season Inacio played in 49 matches across all competitions for Sporting, as Sporting won the Portuguese league title, and they also went all the way to the Portuguese Cup final. They lost, I think, to Porto in the end. And he made 1.7 tackles per 90 minutes. Progressive passes was very high, 8.5, and pass accuracy was pretty high, 89% as well. Inacio has been described as a complete talent by scout Jacek Kulik. He could be eyed as a long-term replacement potentially for Virgil van Dijk, even though I don't think he's as good as Van Dijk right now, but Goncalo Inacio is still only 22, 23 years old, so he still has a lot of time and a lot of room for improvement. And as you can see, he's among the top 10 or top 15% of defenders in a lot of metrics: shot creating actions, passes attempted, pass completion rate, progressive passes, progressive carries, successful take-ons. What is a little bit worrying is that aerial duels won is very low. He's in the bottom 30%. Clearances, bottom 2%. Blocks, bottom 42%. And interceptions, bottom 20%. So he still has a lot of work to do when it comes to some aspects of his defensive work. And some fans, of course, quite understandably, are growing restless in reacting to Liverpool's lack of transfer activity. And a Liverpool fan asked, how can you tell fans it's really hard to improve a team that finished 10 points behind first place? And Arne Slot said that it's really hard to improve the team, but that's the job of Richard Hughes. That's literally his job, to find a player or players in the transfer market that improves the team, and he already had a few months to do this. So there is absolutely no excuses for Liverpool not signing a player who is better than Waterrando. But Arne Slot has to say this. He has to back his players at the club, and he also backs himself to improve the club at his disposal. Otherwise, he would admit at not being good at his job. Because Arne Slot isn't going to say that this team isn't very good publicly, or even say he can't improve with the team. Otherwise, he essentially admits he's not good at his job. He has not said he can't improve the squad. He has just said it is hard, and in fairness, it will be hard to improve, considering we are only talking about Liverpool improving one starting position. But, you know, after Zubimendi's transfer failed, Liverpool absolutely have to get somebody else in. There is no excuse. Liverpool already sold players worth 50 million pounds. So we have around 150 to 200 million pounds to spend. Why not go after a generational talent like Bruno Guimaraes? That's what I don't understand. Newcastle are pretty happy to sell some of their players because they know that financially they have to abide by the profit and sustainability rules, and selling one of their big stars, of course, is not what Newcastle want. But if Liverpool offer an outrageous amount for Bruno Guimaraes, I think Newcastle would be tempted to sell him and then strengthen the team in a lot of areas. Paul Joyce claiming there is a possibility Liverpool could not sign anyone this summer is very depressing, but remember, Liverpool are not briefing journalists anymore about anything. So Paul Joyce saying that he doesn't expect a lot of activity means that he just doesn't know what is happening. Because behind the scenes, Richard Hughes is working on making some transfers for Liverpool, and Arne Slot definitely needs to be backed in the transfer market. He needs this Liverpool team to improve, and Arne Slot said that he would be very surprised if Liverpool don't make any transfers in this summer transfer window. Virgil van Dijk said Liverpool need to make transfers, need to do transfers to strengthen the team. But Paul Joyce didn't say anything that hasn't been said 100 times over this window, and he made it clear that Liverpool are being very tight-lipped about transfers after the Zubimendi deal became so public. So any movement that happens likely won't hit the press until it's almost completed, it's almost finalized. To be fair, the Zubimendi deal was almost finalized. Zubimendi said yes to Liverpool weeks ago. And then in the last minute, when Liverpool were already prepared to pay the release clause, he changed his mind. And Paul Joyce, when he said these things, he made it extremely clear that that was just his opinion, that he doesn't expect Liverpool to be very active in the transfer market. He said, do not aggregate this, but then, of course, the aggregators are popping off with quotes from him. But that's understandable, because Liverpool fan base is extremely nervous, extremely tense. How can you not be when we are starting our Premier League season today, and for the first time in 9 years, Liverpool haven't made one single signing to help the new manager? I think whatever way you want to dress it up, it's a disgrace by FSG. I will reserve my judgment on Liverpool's transfer window until January the 1st. Because Liverpool can still do a lot of business, or any business, until January the 1st. And I will be honest, if we just signed a brilliant defensive midfielder and nobody else, I would be fine with it. But that, of course, that's saying after I know that Liverpool haven't been doing any business for 2.5 months. And after this Zubimendi chase and transfer saga became so public, there is absolutely no surprise that Paul Joyce is not saying too much, because Liverpool don't want another public transfer saga happening in the media. The best way for all to happen is away from the public, so that's why Liverpool are doing this privately. And somebody posted a statistic that there are 132 football clubs in Europe's top 7 leagues. So you know the top 5 leagues plus maybe Portugal and the Netherlands. 132 teams. 131 teams have signed players in this summer transfer window. The only club out of the top 7 leagues to not sign a player is Liverpool. So it's absolutely crucial that Liverpool sign a player who improves the starting 11. I know it's hard, but that's literally the job of Richard Hughes, and he fails massively if he doesn't sign a player which improves the Liverpool first team. And I'm expecting a really tough game against Ipswich Town. They are a newly promoted side, being in the Premier League for the first time in like 22 years, and will be rooting for them during the season, but of course not in this game against my favorite team, Liverpool. And Liverpool will start with Jota up front, and hopefully we will be able to create big chances for the likes of Jota, Salah, Luis Diaz, and I expect Dominic Szoboszlai to play in the attacking midfield role ahead of the double pivot of McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch. And I think it will be very interesting how Liverpool do defensively, because that will be crucial for the season. Liverpool need to cut down on the goals conceded, and I think going forward we will be very exciting to watch, and we need to get the defense right. I really hope that Gravenberch has a brilliant season, because he has all the physical attributes to be a number 6, a deep lying playmaker. He just needs to adjust tactically and to learn better how to use his body. But of course, Liverpool going without an out-and-out defensive midfielder will be a concern against bigger teams. I think against Ipswich, I think we should be just too good for their defense. We should blow them away, score 2 or 3 goals and win the game comfortably. But of course, that's very rarely the case in the Premier League. You saw Man United struggling again big time against Fulham, and they got lucky that Zirkzee with his first shot in the Premier League scored in the very late on. But let's see what Liverpool do against Ipswich. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. See you later. Good night.